It's really important that we make that distinction, because sometimes in the kind of the personal growth movement, there's this thing about authenticity, and authenticity is like, I'm just going to be whatever, whenever, and I'm just going to, be myself. And that's actually not what we're talking about, because you can be yourself and contracted,
Hmm.
right? Which then there's an agenda for that, and there's an impact on the other when we're in contraction and just being ourselves, because that's not actually authentic. That's just contraction. Can you speak a bit to
Yeah.
that, Texas?
Yeah. So when I show up for a session, if I'm in a state of contraction, I'm always going to have a need, and my need will always be more important than your need. That's what a contracted being looks at the world that way. But if I can get over here and I can kind of come in from this place, I can now hold the vibration, and I'm in that better state. We have no agenda for the other person, and so therefore we are what they need in that being state, right? And that can look a lot of different ways. That's why there's no magic formula for this.
And so that's that the internal congruence is
Yes.
what we're really focused in on this week, is how can my inside match my outside. One of the most um, activating things is when somebody's got a smile on their face, but you don't feel like that's not actually what they're feeling inside. I mean, as therapists, we see this all the time, right? As mental health professionals, we see where the client is saying one thing, you can feel the energy or the emotion underneath it, and they don't match. Now, we're also doing that unconsciously much of the time, right? Where, I've just come in off an argument with my husband, and I'm having to see clients, and I'm trying to like somehow bracket that, but it's coming through, right? Something's off, and the client feels that. They might not know how to speak to that, but they will feel it. And so that internal congruence is what we're talking about.
Come over here and we're open. We have immediate access to everything that we need as a human being. Boom.
And there may be tears.
Oh yeah.
Like I've been moved, with but it's not because I feel sorry for them, or I want to fix them, or I feel bad for them, or it's triggering something in me. It's a genuine moment of shared tenderness that actually deepens the therapeutic relationship.
It's interesting that if we put a good face on it, we can be as dysregulated as we want and we're okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we know so much in what we do with when we work with folks is that if we're incongruent, if what I'm saying and what I'm being are two different things, I'm triggering everything that's happened to that person that's sitting in front of me since the first time that happened to them at 3 years old. Right? It's like it's all coming out. So I don't know how you emphasize more importantly that we need to show up as in authentically in the room.
I used to teach a course on counseling South Asian clients. And one of the things in that teaching is if there is no self disclosure, the client won't trust you. So, in certain contexts, um, I think it's important to learn how and when to share about ourselves. But when we don't share at all, we just reinforce that colonial
Yeah.
structure of the expert and the patient, and the need for the expert to have all their shit together. Like it just doesn't work in human societies. And so we're actually challenging the whole system. And I know it's a lot. I hope one day regulation catches up to this, because it's missing huge chunks of people who therapy is just simply not working for them. Right. So yeah. But if we could have clinicians, like, again, the reason we say, okay, no self disclosure, don't do any of that, is because we haven't had this framework of contraction and expansion, or
Yes.
alignment and misalignment. If we're in alignment, then it's not going to be about me anyway. So I'm not going to be trying to take something from my client. So I don't need all those rules and regulations to keep the client safe in the same way when I'm doing that in just because of my state.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I think that's so important. We're talking about a paradigm shift in understanding um, who we are and then who we show up with in the room. Without that, then you need all the freaking rules you can get
Right.
because This
because
this this we
we don't trust the therapists, because the
yeah.
therapists also, and the therapists don't have a framework to trust themselves, right? Because what if my own stuff comes up in the middle? As well, then I just do a presence breath, and I just get regulated, and I just drop away the protection, the walls that are coming up in me, and I can be there again for my client.